Hello everyone, my name is Havian and today I'm going to be playing some more Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris. This week I've spent a bit of time catching up on the PS4 version of the game, and now that I've capped my masteries I can go ahead and finish the main story and get ready for some multiplayer. Before I do that though, I want to spend a bit of time getting my party members' sword skills ready, and since some of you want to know how I set up my arts codes, I thought I'd show you what I do step by step. But before we get started, I want to thank Square Enix for sponsoring today's video. They wanted me to let you know that Final Fantasy VII Remake is currently on sale, and that you can get it for up to 34% off at participating retailers between now and August 19th. It would be pretty surprising at this point if you haven't heard about Final Fantasy VII Remake, since it is a very popular game and it was talked about a lot during its release period. Even though I had played the original game already and knew what would happen in the story, they still managed to throw a few things in there that kept me questioning if I really knew what was going to happen next. There were a lot of things that I liked about Final Fantasy VII Remake when I played it, but the main thing that left an impact on me was how good the music is and how entertaining the boss battles are. The original game used more of a turn-based combat system, and even though Final Fantasy VII Remake retains certain aspects of the original combat, it takes much more of an action-focused approach. But overall I did enjoy it a lot, and it's worth looking into if you have a PS4. If you're curious about the game, you can get the free demo on PSN to see if it's something you'd enjoy playing. And if it's something you would like playing, now would be a good time to pick it up since it's currently on sale. So click the link in the description if you want to learn more about it. The arts codes that I'll be making will be sword skill focused, and they'll be pretty basic since I'm only still on chapter 3 on my PS4 profile. But since my proficiency is over 500, I will be using the final one-handed sword skill for a few of the arts codes that I'll be making. But that's not necessarily something that you'll need to do for yourself. If you do want to get your proficiency up, check out the video that I made recently and it should help you get it done. Eventually I'm going to work on getting these characters to use their sacred arts and abilities when I actually want them to, but I'll probably save that for another video. Okay, so I've come to an area where I can fight crabs. You don't actually have to fight crabs, but I just like using them because they go into a defensive state. And you can use that to your advantage when you're setting up arts codes, because you want to be deliberate with the sword skills you're using so they register as the right code. Right now I've removed all of the records from all of my characters. It's best that you just get rid of all the default ones because they don't really help you too much and they kind of get in the way of the AI doing what you want them to. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one as well that I got set to Kirito because I want to make my own. I've just equipped him with the weakest weapon I have at the moment so the enemies survive a little bit longer, and then hopefully we can get something done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull one of these. The combo that I want to make right now is going to be Savage Fulcrum into Nova Ascension. And then I want to do a horizontal square into Nova Ascension. And then hopefully I can use a Vorpal Strike when the enemies put their guard up. And that's what I'm going for right now to get things going, to get like a basic combo going, or to get a basic record going. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I've got the attention of one enemy, so as soon as it comes over, I'm going to Savage into a Nova Ascension. Okay. And then hopefully, this one will get registered. So you have to be really deliberate about what you want to do. Okay, did it register? Okay, debuffing powerful enemies is not what I wanted, but if it registered Nova Ascension on its own, then that's a good thing. You're gonna have to, okay, good, we registered Nova Ascension alone. So I'm gonna lock that, I'm gonna keep that. Sometimes it is good to have your ultimate skill or your final sword skill or the 500 proficiency sword skill on its own, so that your party members just activate them like whenever they feel like it, honestly. But I'm gonna save that one, but if you don't get the outcome that you want, then just do it again until you get what you want. You're gonna have to hit on the enemy a little bit to build up some SP, but then hopefully I can get what I want. So I'm going to do Savage Fulcrum into an Nova Ascension again. I wonder if it's because the enemies died before I finish my combo is the reason why it isn't registering the one that I want. I want to get them both in a chain. Oh, there we go. It registered it. Sometimes you're going to have to do it multiple times for it to register what you want, but let's take a look at it and see what it is. So I've got, okay, Savage Fulcrum charge into Savage Fulcrum post attack into Nova Ascension. I don't want this one. I want the same arts code, but I don't want it set up like this. Because if I use a charge, that will use a charge whenever it feels like it, but then it's gonna wait until after the enemy uses their skill before it does the next part, and that's not what I want. I want it to flow from one part to the next really quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. You're gonna be doing a lot of repetition until things come out the way you want them to. So I'm gonna grab this one, build up some SP, and we're gonna try that again. And hopefully it will register it when I want it to. I don't want it to register after the crab's done the skill. So I'm gonna wait until the crab does a move, and then I'll do my combo. Crab, you wanna do something? Okay, so he's not doing anything. Maybe I can get lucky. It's just standing there. Alright, I'm just gonna do it anyway and hopefully it registers. Don't use a skill now that I've used mine now, crab. Okay, register it. And nothing. Oh, no, it registered. Okay, good. What did it register this time, though? Good. Okay, this is what I wanted. Frames of enemy attacking, frames of enemy attacking. I want that. So we're going to drop this all the way down to 0.1 frames of an enemy attacking because I want it to just activate as early as they can. I don't want them to wait for the enemy to do anything. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And then enemy not debuffed, they'll do Nova Ascension. So I'm going to go ahead and lock all of these because I've got them the way I want it. So let's lock that, and let's lock that. And just to try something out, to see if it actually works, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm only gonna give, let's save this. Just copy that to storage. I've made a few arts codes before, but I'm gonna go into storage and I'm gonna use this one. These two are the ones that I made before, but we're gonna go ahead and get this one that we just made, and we're gonna give it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Just to watch what he does with it. You'll be able to tell when a character's using a certain command because an icon will pop up. I turned the option up so it's on so it shows up over their head, but usually next to their name in their health bar, there'll be to the left of their name or to the left of their health bar, there'll be like an icon that pops up to tell you which arts code they're actually using at the moment. So when you see the icon for Rush pop up, you know Yu-Gi-Oh's using that. So I'm gonna hit the enemy and I'm just gonna watch what Yu-Gi-Oh does just to see. Okay, so he's doing Rush. Let's see if he actually uses it though. He's activated Rush. Maybe I'm gonna have to use another one before he gets him to use it, because now he's just standing there at the moment. Alright, there we go. Savage Fulcrum into Nova Ascension. It took him a while to think about it, but he actually is doing it now. So I reckon he's thinking about things too much because it's set to enemy not attacking at the moment. And the enemy was hitting me. So what I want to do, I'm gonna save that. Actually, no, I'm gonna delete that because I don't want him doing it while I'm trying to set up the combo because he might kill the enemy. What I want though is to have more sword skills inside of the debuff powerful enemies. And the way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna go ahead and do a horizontal square combo into Nova Ascension because horizontal square is registered as a debuff in the game. And I want to use the horizontal square debuff. I want the AI to use horizontal square every time the enemy doesn't have a debuff, which is pretty frequently. So this will give attack down, attack down, attack down. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this enemy and I'm gonna try and get it to you. I'm gonna try and do a full horizontal square combo on it into a Nova Ascension. But I don't want there to be like any conditions for when it activates apart from debuff. It's okay. And hopefully this will register. If it doesn't register, I have to keep doing it just to see if it activates. Okay, so this one registers as break enemy's formation. Don't want that. I want it to register as a debuff. But maybe it registered as both. I guess we can go ahead and see if it did. Okay, so this one registered as break enemy's formation. It did what I wanted it to do, but it registered under the wrong condition. I tend to like it having it under debuff because the enemy does that. I've noticed that the enemy does debuff a lot more frequently than some of the other types. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off. Let's delete that. And then let's hope it registers debuff again. Okay, let me build my SP up a little bit, and then we're gonna try that again. Let's try and get a horizontal square combo going off, and then we're going to lead into a Nova Ascension. Nope, enemy died. But sometimes it still registers if you get the sword skill combo started before it dies. Oh, okay. So hopefully this actually worked and it registered the one I wanted, the whole combo and not just horizontal square. Okay, let's edit this. Horizontal, horizontal arc, horizontal square, and over ascension. Perfect. Perfect. This is actually it. This is what I wanted. The whole thing. So let's lock these. Okay, so we got these two set up as the way I want them. We're gonna lock them into Kirito. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to play as Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I'm going to watch what Kirito does. Just to see if it's registered or saved the way I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and let's switch to my dude over here. Okay, now I'm going to pay attention to Kirito. I'm going to see what he does. Right now he's set to debuffing. But now he's just like running around the back. I want him to actually start attacking the enemy. He's screwing up. At the moment, because I haven't changed his top record and it's still set to his default one. Why I want to switch to another one? Because I think this is interfering with the rest of his skills at the moment. So I'm just gonna delete. I'm gonna delete these. I'm gonna just remove him. I don't want him to be doing anything inside of this. You can always add them back later, but this isn't. On my PC version, I've got Fiery on there at the moment, but he's got Inquisitive set there at the moment. But I'm just gonna delete those just to see what he does. There we go. Now he's actually starting to do stuff. Straight into Nova Ascension. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted. Now they're skill chaining on their own. I don't know why Asuna's doing stuff, and now he's doing his Savage Fulcrum. But the enemy died, so he couldn't finish off. So there you can see that it's working the way I want it to, but let's see if it will happen for this enemy as well. So now he's gone straight into Nova Ascension. I'm getting knocked around a little bit, we don't need to worry about that. I'm just tanking because I want to see. It's always good to like check the AI of your party members to see what they're doing after you made changes, and you can make changes during combat as well. So at the moment, Kirito's working exactly like I want him to, but there's still one more thing I want to do. I need to get an enemy to use a defensive move so I can use Vorpal Strike on it and break its guard. So I'm just gonna keep hitting the enemy just until it goes defensive, and I'll use Vorpal Strike on it. Come on. But I don't want to have it as a fully charged Vorpal Strike. Actually, let me use a few moves on it to lower its health a bit. And then hopefully that will... There we... Nope. Not yet. Not yet. Hopefully they don't kill it before it goes defensive. I probably shouldn't have hit it so much. Nope, it's just using normal. I think crabs are probably the better enemy to do this on. So I'm going to go ahead and find... Alright, let's go ahead and find a crab. Let's go ahead and find one of these. Let's test it on this crab. I'm gonna only use... I'll use that once, so it stays alive a little bit longer. Let's see if it can use its defensive move. Oh, come on! One skill chain took that much health off. Alright, this one might be a bust. Let's just hope it does what I want it to do. Alright, crab, grow into your shell. And do your defensive move. And then I'm gonna... There we go! Damn it! Yu-Gi-Oh! Killed it before I could! Okay, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that again. Okay, this has gone defensive. Can I get it? Nope. Or maybe I can. Maybe it did register. Enemy in special state. Edit. Vorpal Strike charge. Vorpal Strike. Okay, good. So we're gonna delete this. So it actually did register. So let's delete this horizontal. Enemy has weakness defensive. Enemy has weakness defensive. Alright, good. So I'm gonna lock that. Usually I like it. I like the sub condition to be one that I can change myself. But I'll stick with this one. There's usually like there's an option that usually has a longer list than this. But I'll keep this one for now. So when the enemy's defensive, that's when I'll use Vorpal Strike. Or when Kirito will use Vorpal Strike. Or any of the other characters. I'm gonna go ahead and move rush attacks to number 1. Leave debuff in 2, and then I'll use break formation in 3. And then I'm going to switch to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then see what happens. and see if the game's actually registered the things I want it to. So this enemy, I don't want to fight that. We need to find something that's got a bit more health. Okay, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Let me switch to him. And then let's go ahead and just fight. Let's fight one of these things. And then we'll get to see completely how this is going to work out. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this enemy goes defensive. No, let's go ahead and let's fight one of these. It'll probably die before it goes defensive. But at least we'll get to see what Kirito's going to do anyway. Where did he go? There we go. He's probably going to kill it with Nova Ascension, but let's just hopefully see if any of the enemies are going to go defensive. But you can see how good the AI can get by just doing a few simple things. Before I removed absolutely everything from Kirito, and I've only set these up in what, like 10-15 minutes? I've noticed that they don't really like using sword skills. If they're not like set to a tank, they don't like using sword skills unless they run to the side of the enemy. So that's why you'll kind of see them getting confused, and you'll just see them just like running into enemies and not really knowing what they want to do, because they need to like get to the side of it before they start using a sword skill. But when they're set to tanks, it seems like they just do it standing directly in front. So what I'm going to do is, now that we've got the sword skills sorted out, I'm going to copy these to storage, copy this to storage, and then copy this to storage. Nope, don't delete it! Oh my god. Copy this to storage. And then I'm gonna transfer them over to Yu-Gi-Oh! So these are the ones I made earlier, these are the ones I just made now. So let's get that one. Let's get that one. And then let's get that one. So this is pretty much how you get them set up. It's a lot of trial and error and watching what your AI does to make sure they're doing the right thing. But this is how you would set up sword skills. You can add in extra commands like manually by going to a record. Like you can put in some stuff like not targeted by enemy, Infernal Eye, to get like him to taunt enemies when they're not targeting him. But let's go ahead and switch back to Kirito now. I didn't even start fighting and he's already attacking the enemy. Dude, okay, yeah, I guess it's working perfectly fine then. Yeah, sure, just fight on your own there, Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, so right now, he's just thinking about what he wants to do, but hopefully, he'll stop running around and start fighting. It seems like even when he set the tank, he's trying to run to his side to do sword skills. So it's probably going to need a little bit of tweaking. What I can do is for Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to go into his sword skills. He's set to Diligent at the moment. I think on PC I have him set to Stalwart. Let me delete this. So you're pretty much, after you make a combo for a character, you're going to pretty much have to go into them and just tweak them bit by bit to try and figure out what is making them tick and what is changing this, what is making them react in the way they are. So I want to go into here, I want to edit this instead of going to storage. Okay, it's blank at the moment, good. But at least he's killing the enemies, but it still looks like he's running to the side of enemies. I think he probably just needs to use he needs to be in combat for a little bit longer, and he probably needs to, like, I guess get used to it before he starts doing things normally. There we go. Now he's reacting like I want him to. He's just running straight into enemies and using it. Okay, let's pick one more enemy and we can get this going. You can pretty much do this for all of the characters, but for all of the weapon types, but the things you need to pay attention to are the conditions your sword skills need to activate. Certain sword skills like Nova Ascension, they'll just use them, they'll use them as a debuff. I'm pretty sure it's got a debuff on there. Let's take a look. Is it defense down? Yeah, so it's got defense down on there. If it's got a debuff, they'll pretty much just use them all the time. If it's a skill like Savage Fulcrum, they'll just use them when there's no real other conditions met. For this skill, because it's got a debuff, it'll use them when it'll activate a record for it when it's got a debuff or when you need to debuff the enemy. Vorpal Strike, it's best to use that when an enemy's shielded, so that the game registers it as one that is best to be used when the enemy's in the defensive state. So you pretty much just read the conditions of a sword skill and then use them at the appropriate times during battle, and the game should register it. Then you go into the records menu, tweak the skills, make sure you lock the ones that you want to keep, but remove the parts that you don't want to, and then just tweak the parts of it that make it activate when you want it to, or during the right conditions that you want it to activate in. And then you can get that done for pretty much all of the different characters. I just showed you for one-handed swords because there are a lot of one-handed sword users, and you can kind of get the basic gist of how it works by just watching how I've made it. So now you can go ahead and just like make the ones you want. I guess what I can do to test things out, I actually haven't uploaded the ones for my PC version yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and upload these ones just to see how it works, because I've never uploaded anything yet. So let's upload this. Character set to Kirito. You know what, I'm gonna upload them on Yu-Gi-Oh! So that if you guys have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if you have any one-handed sword users, you should be able to easily find this and download it. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload this as... What tags can I use, or what comment can I set? Okay, so I'm gonna set a comment as... Havian's test video. Havian's test video. There we go. And I'll put the tag. Yeah, I'll put the tag One Trick Pony in there as well. One Trick Pony, max attack. No, I wanted One Trick Pony. Give me that back. Why did it go to... Okay, max attack. One Trick Pony, max attack. And then I'm gonna go to upload. Okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing for debuffing enemies. But for, instead of like, I'll set this one, I'll upload this one. And I'll set this one as One Trick Pony again. Max attack. And then I'll do this one as slot 2. So you know to put it into the second slot. Upload. And then for this one, we're gonna go ahead and network menu, upload. One Trick Pony again. Max attack. And then slot 3. Now I'm gonna make some proper character builds, and then I'll upload those ones. I'll probably make a video dedicated to that. So for now, this is just a test. So you can download it on yours, and you can let me know in the comments whether or not it works for you on your characters, or whether or not you want to make your own, or whether or not this even helped you get some of your stuff sorted out or set up. But there we go. That's how you can set up your sword skills, or how you can make some basic sword skill records for yourself. Once again, I would like to thank Square Enix for sponsoring today's video. If any of you are interested in trying Final Fantasy VII Remake, then go ahead and download the demo on the PSN store. And if you enjoy it, you can pick it up for a discounted price before August 19th. So click the link in the description to find out more details. I post smaller gameplay clips and news updates over on Twitter between the videos that I make. So if you want to see some of those, I'll put the link to it in the description, so you can head over there and follow if you want to stay up to date with everything I'm doing. If you want to see any of the other gameplay videos that I make for Sword Art Online or action RPGs, then don't forget to subscribe and remember to click the bell, so you'll be the first to know when a new video is available. I'll be making some new videos very soon, but until I make those videos, I'll see you all later.